Good morning guys and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little book haul and organization of my bookshelf, and it is kind of a sizable book haul. It's between two secondhand thrifted bookstores / one antique bookstore, and also just Chapters Indigo and a couple from Amazon as well. And I also grabbed a few things from my house from HomeSense and Winners, and I just wanted to share with you guys my little finds and share with you guys my organization of my bookshelf. I am starting a little bit of a home library, especially classics and vintage books, and reading in general have just been bringing me a lot of joy lately, and I'm really excited and happy about having a little home library. I'm loving watching it grow. I've been finding so much joy in reading lately. If you guys have any recommendations for me of any books, please let me know. And the last time I shared with you guys my bookshelf, it was very rudimentary. I had just kind of thrown my books on it just because they needed a place to go. But it was very haphazard and it was really arranged by no rhyme or reason. They were just kind of on there. I also had like some random editions because some of them were just kind of editions I found on Amazon, and I ended up not being super happy with a lot of those editions. So in today's video, I'm sharing with you a couple different editions that I found at the secondhand stores / at Chapters Indigo, and I'm going to tell you which ones I'm going to return to Amazon that I'm not loving, and just working on continuing to build and curate my bookshelf. So if you're new here, welcome. My name's Alithia. I'd love if you consider subscribing. And without further ado, let's get started in today's video. All right, so this is kind of the state of affairs going on in the living room right now. I just got back from the city and I brought everything in and I was unpacking, and I thought, why not film my little haul? So mostly stuff for the house and also some books. This is what I have done with the bookshelf. I do have laundry on the go that I have to put away, so that's why that is sitting there. As you can see, I moved the sewing desk that was sitting right here, and I put Ivar's dog bed back there. I still have it, but it's kind of out of the way and things are looking a little bit less cluttered. So I really want to get everything put away. I usually don't have all this stuff sitting out. It's kind of a mess. I want to get my laundry put away, but I did want to share with you guys the update on the bookshelf, how I have it organized right now, and then just some books that I got today. So this is how the bookshelf is looking now. More organized, more books, and a couple pieces of decor that are really beautiful. So on the top I have this really beautiful oil lamp. Such a pretty piece. I absolutely love it, and I think it looks really nice on the shelf. And then on this shelf, this is one of my favorite shelves, although I still have to do some more organizing, and I'm going to talk to you guys about some more different editions that I got. I'm still kind of shuffling around my editions to see which ones I'm going to keep and which ones are going to go back, because I ordered a whole bunch from Amazon and then realized that I didn't like some of the editions as much as I thought I was going to, and so I can return them, get my money back, and then I've gotten a couple different editions when I was in the city and went to Chapters Indigo. So I'll show you that in a moment, but you will see probably some new books here that were not here last time I filmed, because I went to our local used bookstore here in town, which isn't a very big bookstore. It's really hard to find like gems and really great pieces there, to be honest, but I did find a few things. I kind of just kept my eyes open for like favorite authors or titles I had heard before that I know people have said were really good. So yeah, and then I got this beautiful vase here with some really old looking flowers in it, and they're just perfect. These flowers I had gotten from HomeSense quite a while ago, like before Christmas last year actually, and they were just the perfect aesthetic to put on the shelf, and I just love how the vase looks next to some of my favorite older classic books. And of course I still will be doing some reorganization to make it look even prettier, but I'm really liking the vibes of this shelf. I'm loving the colors. Whenever possible, I try to get books that fall into a color scheme that I like. Unfortunately, there are a lot. I don't know why, but there's a ton of editions of books that come in black and red. And black and red is my least favorite. They're like my two least favorite colors in the world, black and red, except for lipstick. I like red lipstick, but otherwise I do not like red in my house. So I'm trying to keep with the color scheme of like more or less this kind of thing, not so much this kind of thing, but that's okay. I've learned to accept the spines of certain books, even if they have colors I don't like, because what I used to do when I had books back in the day was I would actually turn them around this part of the book. And while that's fine to do here and there, it definitely like brightens up the shelf a little bit. I don't like that then I cannot see what books they are. It's just better to have the spines and the title showing. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I got. All right, so first of all, I got some stuff from Winter's Home Sense. I found a few books and I also found some things for the home. So first of all, I found these flowers, and they are obviously a faux flower, but I think these are going to look really, really pretty in here for the fall, because currently I have these other flowers that are really beautiful, but they're a little bit more spring summer. But I think if I switch them out for these ones, I think that's going to look really, really nice. Yeah, they're just beautiful, and they're just going to look really nice for fall time. A little bit less bright and pink, a little more subdued. And then I just thought I'd give you an update of the inside of my secretary desk. So of course I've got my grandmother's cookbook. I have a spare candle holder. I have some spare column candles. I have these antique metal looking keys, which I thought were really cute, like bookshelf decor. Right now I just have them sitting in here, but they kind of go with the vibes of the secretary desk. And then I have some bookmarks, and I have my annotation supplies. I don't think I have anything in here. I took everything out of here and put it in this little bag with this little bunny. So my highlighters and all of my other annotation supplies, my book tabs and stuff are all in there. And I think I'm going to use this as kind of like a pencil case. So if I go to a coffee shop or something like that, or a library to read, I can, bring my little pencil case. So that's what's in the secretary desk. I'm loving putting things I like in here, and it's actually, I didn't think I was going to use this for storage, but it's actually such a handy little unit to use for like spare candles and stuff like that, because usually I don't have a place to keep things like that. And just a couple other odds and ends in here. So we got some more poo bags. These are some more poo bags for Ivar. Poop bags are something we obviously use all the time, and these ones are mint scented, and they were a really good deal, $5.99 for 120 bags, it says. So that is fantastic. This should last us for 2 months, because he usually goes twice in a day, TMI. But yeah, so poo bags for Ivar, something that when I see them on a good deal, I always get them. Very essential. I also got a pair of slippers for myself. Super cute. They have little bears on them. They are a size medium, 7.5, and they, excuse my sock. I went to the dog park this morning and I just did not change my socks when I got home, and my sock got dirty. If you have dogs, you understand. A dog park is a dirty place. And there's my little slippers. I think they're so cute. I love being cozy, and these are going to be perfect for the fall and the winter, walking around the house, cleaning, and also just like chilling in the evening and reading a book. I'm very, very excited. Hopefully Ivar does not eat them, because he is notorious for stealing slippers and wanting to chew on them. He's getting better as he gets older, but I got myself some scrunchies. I can't help myself. Scrunchies are something I use every single day at work to pull my hair back, especially like a silk or satin scrunchie. These are like a chiffon kind of material. But yeah, whenever I find like pretty jumbo size scrunchies, I like to get them, because they do eventually wear out, and I use them all the time. So that was a good deal. I also got this soap dish, which reminds me I have to go to Walmart and get some bar soap. I want to go back to using bar soap, because it reminds me of my grandmother's and my mother's, and especially my grandmother's house. They always used bar soap, and I thought this was really cute. I was actually looking on Amazon for a soap dish, and they didn't have anything that I liked that was within the price range I wanted to pay. And I went to Walmart and I looked around, and I didn't like the ones they had at Walmart, but this one was at HomeSense for $7.99, and it's so cute. It's got the little bows, it's ceramic, very well made. So I'm going to go get some soap later, and I think I'm going to go with Ivory or Dove. I'm leaning toward Dove. I just love me a good bar soap. Dove is one of my favorite soaps in the world, and very nostalgic, works really well. And then I got a couple of candles, because I have started burning candles again, mostly for just like comfort and coziness when I'm reading in the evening. I actually started burning this candle here, which is a pillar candle, and there is nothing better than reading by candlelight. There's something super, super cozy about sitting on a cozy chair with a big fluffy blanket and reading by candlelight. But these are the candles that I got. So the first one is, and it's scuffed somehow already. This is Pumpkin Marshmallow from DW Home. It smells amazing. It smells so good. I cannot wait to burn this in the fall and read my books. I think it's going to look beautiful sitting here. And I also got this one as well, another like vanilla one. This is Hazelnut Praline Vanilla, also from DW Home, and this one has like the cute little top on it, and this one smells really good as well. Hazelnut Praline Vanilla. Smells really good. Smells like fall. I don't usually burn candles in the summer. Candles for me are very much more of like a winter fall thing. And that is all I got from HomeSense. Okay, I lied. I forgot I actually got some books from HomeSense as well. So I was looking for books, and honestly they had some like pretty decent editions of certain books. A lot that I already had on my shelf, so I didn't get others. I was really tempted to buy other editions of some of my favorite authors, but I refrained from it because I knew I was also going to be going to an antique and secondhand bookstore, and I knew I was also going to be going to Chapters Indigo the following day. So I didn't buy too much, and I'm glad that I didn't. But I found a couple things. So the first one is this one here. This is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. So this was only $9.99, and although it's considered really like a children's story, I really like how these books are written, and the books are always better than the show. I don't know, I really love, I love that a book gives you so much more insight than a show does or a movie does. Like obviously all of us have seen The Wizard of Oz, like the movies, but yeah, the book actually sounds really really charming to read. So even though it's going to be, I think it's going to be like a nice simple read, obviously, but I've never read The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, so I wanted to read it. I also got another copy of The Blue Castle. I already do have The Blue Castle on my shelf, and I got it from, I think, Amazon. And perhaps I will return that one because I actually like this copy much better. This is The Blue Castle from L.M. Montgomery. This was from HomeSense, $6.99. I could not say no, especially because the cover is so pretty and the spine is beautiful. It's this really beautiful like mint green kind of Tiffany blue color. And then I also got Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, which I actually started reading and am a little partway through. I started reading it a couple nights ago on the couch, and I think it's a really nice, quick, short, little easy read because it's just little blips. It's not like, there's not a ton of writing in it, as you can see. So this is going to be a good one to just like kind of whip through. And I think I'll try finishing or reading a little bit more from this tonight. Anyways, so those are my HomeSense books that I found. All right, so this candlestick holder, I already had this. I just started burning it the other night, and I don't really know where to put it. I did have it on the shelf, like the bookshelf, but I'm not really sure where I want to put this, so I just kind of put it here for now. I'm really not sure what I want to do with that. These two things I did get from HomeSense as well. Now, honestly, I need another coffee cup. Like, I need to be shot in the foot. I don't really collect coffee cups. As I've talked to you guys about many times before, I've tried to keep more of a minimalist coffee cup collection. However, I'm not really being inspired or fulfilled by the whole concept of minimalism lately at all. I still obviously want things to be clean and clutter free, and I want to surround myself with things that are beautiful, that bring me joy and happiness, and I don't want clutter. But I can't really call myself a minimalist anymore. I have lots of books, I have lots of makeup, I have more perfumes than one would really need, I have lots of shoes, I have lots of dresses. I just like things to be like clean and organized, and I don't like clutter. If something is just clutter and not bringing me any kind of happiness or joy or use, I will part ways with it. That being said, I couldn't say no to these cups when I saw them. So this one I'm actually going to bring to work. This is going to be a coffee cup for work. It's just really pretty flowers, holds tons of coffee, which is awesome. And then this one here is just a beautiful little cup and saucer set, and I could not say no. Look at how beautiful this is. I love the design on it. I love the pretty pink. Everything about this screams me. This is my ideal type of coffee cup, and I cannot wait to sit here in the fall and winter and sip from that cup and read a book. It's going to be wonderful. Now here, these are editions or books that I've recently gotten that I don't think I'm going to be keeping. So these are some books that I don't think I'm going to be keeping. So the first one I'm very sad about actually, and that is this beautiful one here. This is an antique or vintage, I guess, copy of Little Women. And I didn't realize it when I bought it. I got it secondhand from somebody in town, but I did not realize that the spine was completely missing. So it's not the end of the world. It still does work. It's just that the spine is really, and the hinge is broken. I mean, it's literally hanging on by a thread. And it also doesn't have the title page on the inside, so I can't see the copyright. I don't know when it was made. It is a very old book. For that reason, I do kind of like it. It's almost worth like putting a new spine on it or just taping some cardboard to the spine or something. I don't know what to do about this book because I absolutely love the front. I love the cover. It's so cozy and nostalgic looking, and the book is completely intact and it has these pretty illustrations in it. Yeah, it's just really, really worse for wear, like really worse for wear. And actually, I just noticed it's actually missing pages from the back, so it's not even a complete book. Darn. Unfortunately, I don't think it's worth keeping. It doesn't even have all the pages. I just noticed. That's too bad. So I wish I would have known that before I bought it. I only paid $5 for it, but in the advertisement, this was all I saw, and I thought it looked great, and then I got it home and it was in this condition. And then these are some Amazon purchases that are going to be going back. So the Secret Garden is going to be going back, I think, because I found another Secret Garden book. I'm still thinking about this one, actually, because this is a really beautiful cover. This one I got from Amazon, but I did find a secondhand Secret Garden, and I don't know if I really need both. I haven't even read the book yet. It's a very nice copy, and it's a beautiful cover, so I'm actually still kind of contemplating this one. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with that. This gigantic Jane Eyre is going to be going back. When I first saw it on Amazon, I thought that I wanted it, but honestly, these big, gigantic, heavy hardcover books are not convenient to read. They're not comfortable. They're cumbersome and large, and I just don't find them super easy on the eyes. Like, I prefer a smaller book. So it's nice that it has like the golden edges. It's got a ribbon bookmark. It is a beautiful book. It's very well made, but it's also kind of expensive, and I prefer the little Penguin Classics or the Oxford edition. This is also going to be going back, The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, because I found a better edition that I like better. This one's kind of, like I said, big, bulky. I don't like the spine. I don't like the cover. It's just not an edition that I like, so I'm going to return that. Which, by the way, these are the condition the books arrived in, so it's not as if I removed packaging or anything like that. They literally just came to me like this. And then these are going to be going back as well. This is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but A, I've never read Harry Potter. I've never seen the movies. B, I don't really know about this book. Like, is this how big it's supposed to be? I felt like it was supposed to be larger. I think I'm going to go to a bookshop and just leaf through and read some pages, and I just don't know if this is even the right, like, I don't know if this is a proper edition or if this is like a study edition or something. I'm not really sure. It's just kind of a strange small book, and I decided I'm going to send it back. I would rather get my money back for that one. And then this here is George Orwell 1984, but again, this is a strange kind of edition with a whole bunch of highlighted, bolded words, study version or something, and I just don't like that version. It was kind of an impulse purchase. I did find a better one that is on my shelf, and I'm going to keep that one instead. The one that I found that I'm going to keep instead is this one here, this 1984 by George Orwell. I like this edition better. It's actually kind of big. I would almost prefer, like, if I could find the little Penguin edition, but it's fine. They had a ton of them at the bookstore, obviously. So these are all books that I got secondhand in the last week. Some of them I paid $1 for, and some of them I paid $5 for, but none of these books cost me more than $5. So let's start out with what I found local to me, and that would be these ones here. So this one here is Swiss Family Robinson, and this one I got from my local bookstore. I paid $1 for it, and it is an old book. It says Oakman in it. A lot of these books have inscriptions from people who owned them before. It says made in the USA, and this does not have a copyright in it. I think it might be missing a page, but it is old. It is just a very old book. I don't know if it says in the back, maybe. Yeah, there's no copyright, but All I know is it has an old look and an old feel, and yeah, smells like an old book, and I love the smell of old books. So actually, I've read Robinson Crusoe, and I think I've actually read Swiss Family Robinson as a child, and I'm excited to read it again. I loved this story. But anyways, I'm excited to read that. I think it's going to be really nostalgic and remind me of my childhood. So we have Swiss Family Robinson. I also found this one here, Jack and Jill by Alcott, Louisa May Alcott. So this was a library book. It's got some writing in it. And this is an older book. So this particular one was printed in 1928. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really had a particular desire to read Jack and Jill. Of course, we all know the fable of Jack and Jill and what happens. But I just thought it might be an interesting old book. This one was kind of like, I don't know. My local bookstore doesn't have the greatest gems. It doesn't have a lot of like really big selection. So this is kind of, I don't know, this might have been a little bit of an impulse purchase, but I just thought it's old. It's by Louisa May Alcott and I want it. The next one, I don't know if I'm going to keep this one. I don't know if it's going to be worth reading or not. It was also one that was in good condition, and I looked it up, and apparently it's a good classic. Never read it before. The Robe by Lloyd C. Douglas. I don't know. This one here was written and printed in 1942. So this book is 3/4 of a century old, and it's in very, very good condition. So yeah, and yeah, smells like an old book. So that is The Robe. All right, I accidentally put this book here. This one was not from the secondhand store. I just thought it was for a second, but I actually found this on Amazon, and this is Camille by Alexandre Dumas. And I just really honestly have no idea what it's about, but I just really liked the spine and the cover and thought it was really pretty, so I got it. So I'm excited to read that. This was not from the secondhand store. This one was from the secondhand store, and this is Farewell, My General. And this is an older book as well. This is one of my favorite types of stories. I like a cozy historical fiction. This one was printed in 1954. So this one's quite old as well. It's got the deckled edges in it, and it's in excellent condition. And I'm excited to read that one. I also just think the spine is really pretty. The color is really pretty. It looks beautiful on my bookshelf. So, and I just think it sounds like a really romantic book, Farewell, My General. So this is about, I think, women army wives in the 1850s. This one here as well is also from my local bookstore, and this is a Thomas Hardy. You can tell that the front has been exposed to light and is very faded. So this is the original color. This is the Mayor of Casterbridge. The original cover and spine would have been a very vibrant royal blue. And then with being exposed to light, obviously, you could see this might have been sitting on a shelf somewhere. And it has faded. And I actually prefer that because I like that color for my shelf. But just a really pretty book. As soon as I saw it was Thomas Hardy, I wanted it. Also, it's quite old. And this one was printed 1962 and printed in Canada. And it looks like somebody has gone through and done a little bit of annotating as well, which is kind of interesting. So maybe somebody had to read it for school, or maybe they just liked annotating. But there's some scripture on the back. Interesting. So anyway, I thought this was a really pretty book, and it got really good reviews on Goodreads. So yeah. This was the secondhand copy I found of The Secret Garden, which is why I was like, I don't really know if I need to keep that other one that I got from Amazon. This one I paid $1 for as well, and I really like the spine. I like that it's a nice, light, pretty colored spine as opposed to the dark one of the other Secret Garden that I have. Really pretty cover. This one isn't quite as old. I think this is an 80s edition. Yeah, November 1980, so it's old, but not like super old, but excellent condition. Smells like an old book, has some pretty illustrations in there. And then these ones here, I did not get from the secondhand store. These ones I actually got from somebody on Facebook Marketplace. They are 3 vintage Nancy Drew, because when I was younger, I used to enjoy reading Nancy Drew. So I wanted these more for nostalgia reasons than anything. And I probably will read them again at some point just for the nostalgia of it. It's been a really long time since I've read Nancy Drew, but I used to really enjoy it. So these are 1960s. One of them actually I think is from the 40s. I think that A very faded one here was printed in the 40s. But this is a 1960s edition of Nancy Drew, The Secret of the Old Clock by Carolyn Keene. And I love that it's a hardcover. It's in excellent condition. Smells old, smells really old. And just a beautiful book. 1959. Nancy Drew Mystery Stories, The Secret of the Old Clock by Carolyn Keene. I have this other one as well. This one's from 1940 something, and this is The Mystery of the Brass Bound Trunk. And this one here, The Hidden Staircase, and this one is I think 1959. So vintage Nancy Drew. This one here I got from my local bookstore. This is Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I have not read this before, but I've heard it's an excellent book, and I was like, why not pay $1 for it versus $15 or $20, which is what I would have paid. And then this beauty here. This is a very, very old book. This is a Jack London, and this is White Fang. And when I saw this sitting on the shelf, I knew I had to open it up and see what it was all about. I paid $1 for it. It is not in the best condition. Like I said, my local bookstore doesn't have the greatest variety or the greatest condition, but it was at the time one of the oldest books I'd ever touched, oldest books I'd ever held. And somebody has an inscription in here, 1913, with Christmas wishes. And I don't remember if it has a copyright in here. I thought I had seen a copyright date, but maybe I don't. Well, anyway, I don't see a copyright date, but somebody had gifted this to someone in their family in 1913. So really, really old book. Has the old embossment on it. Decent condition, like falling apart a little bit, but it's a complete book. And just cool to have something this old, you know. I never really wanted to read White Fang, but whatever. I paid $1 for it, so I just kind of was looking for like classic authors, and I was looking for, you know, something really, really old. So, and I'm still very much in the early part of my book collecting journey, so I'm sure I'll find better editions and nicer editions of things. And I really like that there's a little inscription on the back. It says, "May your life be like the Ford, a rattling success." And these ones here I found at the antique bookstore that I went to yesterday. These are the last of the secondhand books, and then the rest came from Chapters Indigo. So these ones here on the top, I paid $5 each, and they had like a whole set of them. I almost could have gotten the entire set, but some of them were like in worse condition than others. They had a couple of Bronte sisters that were not in the greatest condition. So I just picked a couple, and that's what I went with. So these just looked so old to me. You can imagine how beautiful they looked all sitting on the shelf. There was about 12 or 13 of them. This one is Violet from Charlotte Bronte. These are absolutely beautiful. I definitely do want to read this book, but I'm going to get a modern, like a newer edition so that I can annotate it, because it seems like heresy to annotate old books like this. But these were published in 1907, you guys. Very, very old, thin paper. Absolutely beautiful. This one does have a page that's kind of falling out a little bit, but otherwise it's in pretty good condition. And I just think it's really, really neat to have a book this old. And I'm a huge fan of the Bronte sisters. So Violet, I actually really want to read this one, but like I said, I'm going to get a newer edition so that I can mark it up a little bit. Then this one here, same thing, but it's the Wildfell Hall, The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. This one is in better condition. I think it's a little bit less red. This one's a 1905, and it is in excellent condition, actually. Like, pretty good condition for being literally 120 years old, you guys. 120 years old. That is special. Oh, there's 2 books in here. Tenant of Wildfell Hall and The Professor. Interesting. So I got 2 books in one. Wow, such good condition. And it has the old bookmark as well, which would have been dark purple. Oh no, it's coming out. But yeah, it's a dark purple ribbon bookmark. Pretty cool. 120 years old, you guys. And then this one here, Wuthering Heights. And this one again, pretty good condition, honestly. Super old book. I have, oh, there's Agnes Grey in here as well. Wuthering Heights, Agnes Grey, and then some poems. So that's pretty cool. I do have Agnes Grey and I do have Wuthering Heights more modern editions because I do want to annotate as I read, but those are pretty cool to have. And then I got these 3 as well. This one here I paid $5 for, and it is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. You having trouble, Ivar, getting off the couch? And then I got this one as well because I was like, why not? The English Patient, I only paid $5 for. The English Patient, I've actually never seen the movie, so. And then this one is an old classic. It's Madame Bovary. Hope I'm saying that properly. Gustave Flaubert. I hope I'm saying that right. And this is a pretty old one too. Copyright is, I actually don't think, this is just a little note, but I don't see a copyright date. But the little note that's in here, Dear and Illustrious Friend, 1857. Yeah, very, very good condition. Very good condition. And I know that this is supposed to be a really good book. I'm actually excited to read it. They had a modern edition of this, a more recent edition at Chapters Indigo, and I did not buy it. Perhaps I should have, because, like I said, I do not want to annotate these old books. I just like having it more or less for part of my collection. But so pretty. I love the colors. Excellent condition and just really pretty. And I wish I knew how old it was. I wish I knew what year this came out in. I'm guessing early 1900s, but I don't know exactly when. So those are all of my secondhand books that I've recently got. Okay, and these are the ones I picked up from Chapters Indigo. And that wraps up the book haul, and then we'll put them on the shelf. So from Chapters Indigo, I got a few here that I was some of them I hemmed and hawed about because I already have other editions of some of these books, but a couple of them were so pretty that I couldn't say no. So I'm still going to decide what I'm going to do with the other editions, if I'm going to return the other editions or keep them both, depending on what they are and how much I like them. So the first one is by Lewis Carroll, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass. This is a really pretty book. I like that it has a nice light colored spine. This is obviously a newer edition. I don't know the name of the edition. Penguin Classics. And I'm excited. I've never read Alice in Wonderland. The next one is by Philippa Gregory, and this is The Other Boleyn Girl. And this one was actually just a recommendation I had seen in a YouTube video. I really like stories that are written in this time period. I think it's going to be a really nice little book. And yeah, I'm very, very excited to read this. So The Other Boleyn Girl, it just seems like it's going to be so cozy and so wonderful, and I'm so excited. This one here, William Golding, Lord of the Flies. I've just never read Lord of the Flies. I think it's going to be a pretty easy read, and why not get that one under my belt? Very interesting concept. So I like those kind of dystopian, what if, theoretical kind of books. This one here is a copy of Mrs. Dalloway from Virginia Woolf. This one I like better than the copy I do currently have on my shelf. So I may keep this one and return the other one. I do not need 2 copies of Mrs. Dalloway considering I haven't read it yet. But this was just a really nice, pretty edition. The next one we have Little Women. So I already do have, I think, 2 copies of Little Women. One of them is a gigantic, big hardcover one that I think I'm going to return because I just prefer these little Penguin or Oxford Classics so much more. They're just so much more user-friendly and comfortable to read. So I was really, really excited to find this one. I like the cover of this as well. It's going to be nicer just to hold and really get into. It's just cozier and lighter and more user-friendly. I also have this copy of Persuasion by Jane Austen. So I already do have Persuasion on my shelf, but I really don't like the edition that I have on my shelf. So that one is going to go back to Amazon, and I'm going to keep this one instead. This is the Penguin Library edition. I needed a little bit of coffee. My throat's actually getting scratchy from talking so much. Okay, I'm saving some of the prettiest ones for last, as you can tell. Now this one here, I think I'm going to return. I just got it yesterday from Chapters Indigo, but I think I'm going to return it because the one I had in my cart on Amazon is a nicer, prettier copy. So this is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I've always wanted to read this book. I don't even really know the story of Jekyll and Hyde. I know the basic premise, but I've never read it. And the one that I just ordered from Amazon actually today was a little bit cheaper and a nicer copy. I think it was in Oxford. I also repurchased The Handmaid's Tale. But this is a story that I think is going to be really hard to read, but I think it's going to be really good. Like just one I can really get into. I'm looking forward to reading it, although I think it is going to be a hard story. But again, when it comes to these kind of books, I like, or even movies, I really like dystopian movies, dystopian books. And I like something that leaves an impact and has like a profound impact on you. And I feel like this is going to be a good book. Handmaid's Tale. I have Mansfield Park by Jane Austen from the Penguin English Library Edition. This is the only Mansfield Park that I have. It was the only Jane Austen that I was actually missing, so I got this and I'm happy to have it. I also got this one. This is a little bit different. I don't usually get more modern, contemporary kind of fiction books. They're usually not my jam, but it just sounded cute. It sounded nice. It's called A Bookseller in Madrid, and it was 25% off, and I was like, why not? I read like a couple pages and it just sounded like a cute book. I like books about books. This is another one that I normally wouldn't get, but I just thought it looked cute. I liked the color of the spine. I thought it looked really beautiful, and I thought it would look pretty sitting on my shelf. Catherine Parr, The Sixth Wife by Alison Weir, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, Catherine Parr, The Sixth Wife. And this is basically like a retelling of it's like a fictional retelling of a historical story. I love stories that are placed honestly, I love movies and stories that take place anywhere, like medieval period, anytime between like the 1400s and the late 1800s. That's my favorite setting for any type of movie, any type of novel, any type of story. I just love history. I love something that takes me back and makes me feel like I'm watching or observing a different point in time, a different time period. And I'm just fascinated by pretty much anything, like I said, from the 1400s to the 1800s. I'm fascinated by it. And so I think this is going to be just a really, really enjoyable read. Very excited to read this one. I think I want to read this one this fall or winter. And then I saved these ones for last because they are so very beautiful. So this here is just a beautiful copy of Pride and Prejudice, I Could Not Say No To by Jane Austen. I don't know what the name of this edition is. Harper Muse Classics. I don't know, but it's just beautiful. I love the color. I love the little cutout design. So pretty. I wouldn't mind collecting all of the Jane Austens in this edition because it's so pretty. They did have another one there. I can't remember which one it was, but I didn't want to go crazy, so I only bought this one. And then I couldn't say no to this gorgeous copy of Little Women. This is the 150th anniversary illustrated edition. It's just so pretty and so charming. So pretty. I could not say no. I love the colors. Like I said, anytime I can get something from my bookshelf that will brighten it up and make it look lighter and prettier, as opposed to the typical like red and black spines that you see so much, I'm getting it. And this was just stunning. I could not say no. I knew I would regret it if I didn't get that. This one here, I had to get this. This was the actual like copy, the actual edition that I read when I very first read Jane Eyre, and I fell in love with this book. I loved the story, I loved the book, I loved the cover, I loved everything about it. I love it. So I had to get this edition again because this was, like I said, the first one that I've ever read. And then this one here, just really good reviews. I don't really know what it's about. Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. I think it'll be a short, quick, easy, great read. Excellent reviews, and happy to have it. And also happy that the spine is white and not, I think, don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a man wakes up and he's a beetle or something, and just talking about life from his perspective. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's what it's about. Yeah, so I'm excited to read that one. I think it's going to be an interesting little book. I'm actually really excited to read that one. So yeah, those are the books that I got from Chapters Indigo. Now we have to go ahead and take them and the other books and find a home for them on my shelf. So on this shelf here, like I said, I wanted some of my most pretty books, but I also kind of want to distribute the prettier spines throughout so that the whole bookshelf looks beautiful. But I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of the books back here that I had here. So I believe that I had The Secret Garden. I might have had it here actually. Secret Garden. I also had Camille. I had The Mayor of Casterbridge. And I had Farewell, My General. And I obviously had something else there, and now I'm not sure which. I'm going to put Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And that will be good for now, I think. And up here, I think I'm gonna put Things Fall Apart. So my daughter actually bought me this, which was really sweet, and she actually wrote a little letter on the inside, which I won't read to you guys, but she wrote a little letter, and she got me a beautiful hardcover edition, and that was so sweet. She said that she remembers me reading this to her when she was little, and that the idea of me getting older makes her sad. And if you've ever read Love You Forever by Robert Munsch, then you know what it's about, and it still makes me cry to this day reading this book. So that was a really sweet gift from her. So she got this for me, and so I have it up there on my shelf. Now I have to decide, I wish I would have found a better copy of Wuthering Heights. Like, that one looks fine, but I want to get rid of some of these big, heavy, dark books. Like, I don't know, this is fine. This is a nice book. It's very pretty, but it's big and bulky. So this is the copy of Persuasion that I wanted to probably pass on. I just don't like these tall, skinny books. I prefer like this size of book to read. I just find them a lot, I don't know, I just like them better. I like the way they feel. So this one is actually going to go back to Amazon. I'm just going to set it here for now. And this Penguin English Library edition of Persuasion is going to go in its place. So these are my 2 editions of The Blue Castle. This one I believe was an Amazon find. It does have a pretty front on it, and then this is the one that I got from HomeSense. I like this one better. I don't need both. This is really nice. There's nothing wrong with it. But again, it's not my favorite size of book to read. I think this one's going to be just nicer to read. I think it's prettier. It's going to brighten up the shelf a little bit. So I'm going to stick that one. Oops, I'm having some trouble with my one hand here. I'm going to keep that copy of The Blue Castle, and I think I'm going to return this one as well. Again, you guys, I just don't need 2 copies of a book I haven't even read yet, and this isn't like a particularly, you know, favorite edition or anything like that. Metamorphosis, I'm just going to stick down here. This is kind of my miscellaneous section. I've got Stephen King, I've got The Nightingale. I don't know, The Woman in White probably doesn't need to be honestly down here. I think I'll put it up here somewhere. Metamorphosis, I'll maybe stick here. We need something a little lighter and brighter to lighten up this shelf because it's very dark and very black, and which is fine, but I don't know. I wish that they would make more books that weren't just all black spines. I think it, especially with all the red. I hate the red. I really hate the red. Okay, what else can I put there to brighten that area up? We can maybe take Swiss Family Robinson and put that down here. There are a couple of books on the top shelf and perhaps 1 or 2 here that I didn't share with you guys because they came in a later delivery from Amazon. I think the ones that I might not have shared because they came later are actually this one here, Marilla of Green Gables. When I read Anne of Green Gables, Marilla was one of my favorite characters, and this is apparently about her life before when she was younger. So Marilla of Green Gables. I also have this edition of Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea, which is a really pretty little edition. I'm not a huge fan of having 2 stories in one. I prefer just one book, like one story in one book. But this is a really pretty little book. So Anne of Green Gables. We also have Anne of the Island and Anne of Windy Poplars, which is pretty. We have Anne of Ingleside. These were just Amazon books. We have Anne's House of Dreams, which you guys actually, that is my house of dreams. This is Alethea's House of Dreams. I want that exact house. I literally just want to live in an old house with 150, 200-year-old finishings and original hardwood, and I don't care if there's air conditioning. I just want to live in that house, literally. Like, this is me. This is me in a dream. This is Alethea's House of Dreams. I actually think I might display this somewhere just because it is so beautiful. So maybe I should pull this out, especially because the spine isn't particularly pretty. The cover is absolutely gorgeous. So I think I'm actually going to put this somewhere and display it. And then also I have Rainbow Valley. and also Rilla of Ingleside. And this is a really pretty edition. Rilla of Ingleside. So I'm excited to read that. That one can stay up here. That one can stay there. I think the rest of my Anne of Green Gables can stay up there. And then it begs the question, since I have that Anne of Green Gables, do I also need this Anne of Green Gables? This is a beautiful book though. It's a really pretty edition. I love the cover. I like that it's green. It's gorgeous. I kind of want it. I kind of want to keep it. And plus Anne of Green Gables is one of my favorite stories, so why not have multiple editions? And then Marilla of Ingleside. It's got a very pretty spine on it. One that I'm not sure I want to keep is this one here, this Little Women. Although I do think that Little Women is going to become one of my favorite books. Definitely like this edition better than this one. They were about the same price. This one was from Amazon. This one was from Chapters Indigo. I think I'm going to keep this one up here and let it brighten up my shelf a little bit and perhaps send this one back. I just do not need, it's also so heavy, like it's just so heavy, and I would rather get my money back. It's a pretty book, but I don't need that many editions. I also have this edition of Little Women, which I kind of want to put with that one. So I think I'm going to move, let's actually take out these ones for now. Let's put Little Women there. And let's put, maybe I'll put my vintage ones somewhere else. I think let's take our Anne of Green Gables and put them there. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I also got Little House on the Prairie and Little House in the Big Woods. Very nostalgic because I used to read these, or I used to watch these shows as a child. My mom and I used to watch Little House on the Prairie and I freaking loved it. Loved it. Like, they're definitely written for children, but they're so cozy and nostalgic to me. And again, they remind me of my grandmother's cottage. I might have already showed these to you guys in my last video, I'm not sure, but super, super nostalgic for me. And then let's put our Rilla of Ingleside, Anne of Green Gables there, and I'm not sure. I'll figure out how to display that after, but this has to be displayed somewhere because it's so beautiful. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. What else can I put up there? Wuthering Heights. I feel like my Bronte sisters are down here. What am I going to do? All right, so down here, I'm going to put Lord of the Flies because it's got a light spine and we will brighten up the bottom shelf a little bit. I'm also going to put, I think, my vintage Nancy Drew down here. I'm going to put the Bell Jar down here so we can, again, brighten up this area. I think I want this area to be my super old books and my more modern books, which not all of these are modern, obviously. A lot of them are not modern at all. But, or maybe I thought this could be like mystery thriller, horror kind of thing. Coraline, Stephen King, We Have Always Lived in the Castle, The Haunting of Hill House, Metamorphosis. Of Mice and Men, that's more of like a Great Depression kind of thing. I feel like Mice and Men should be with Grapes of Wrath, wherever that is. It is right here. Okay, let's take the greatest works of Edgar Allan Poe and put that down here. And maybe, Dracula. And that can go down here too. And maybe Brave New World. That can go down here too. And I think that's it. This is kind of like not the greatest edition of Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Maybe 1984 can also go down there. I'm also going to take Beloved and put that down here because it's more of a modern book. And Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I'm going to put that down here as well. Okay, I have 2 copies of Mrs. Dalloway. I have this one, which actually is not bad. That's kind of pretty. And then I have this one here. And which one do I like better? That is the question. That version or this version. I actually like the cover of this one better. It has more of an antique vibe to me. So you know what? I never thought I was gonna do this, but I might actually return this one as well. I think I like the other copy better than this one. Yeah, I think I might actually return this one. Down here, I'm also going to put A Handmaid's Tale. I feel like it's a more modern book, so it needs to go there. And then I have all of my super old ones. Oh, Wonderful Wizard of Oz. That can go with Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, Snow and Rose, and Grimm's Fairy Tales. And then my super old books. Let's see here. I don't even know if I'm going to read The Robe, honestly. I only got this for $1. Is this worth reading? I don't know. I'm kind of at odds over this one. Do I keep it or do I not keep it? I'm not super jazzed about reading this one. I think I might donate that one back to the bookstore that I bought it from. And we can do Jack and Jill. This is a pretty old one, Madame Bovary. I actually want this one up here somewhere. That's such a pretty book. That's very, very pretty. And then my super old Bronte sisters. I think those are not gonna be as good down there, actually. Things are kind of sort of starting to come together. The Great Gatsby we are going to put here. Again, I'm really not a fan that there's so much red and black going on. I'm going to have to put something in there to brighten it up a little bit. We are going to take Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and we are going to put it beside The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe and The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. I wish I had a better Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. I actually almost want to send this back. I do not like this copy, this edition. If I'm going to have a book like this, I don't know. But it was so cheap and it was so easy. 13 bucks. I'll keep it for now. Where do I want the other Boleyn girl? Let's take Confessions. So this book I was going to return, St. Augustine Confessions. I got it for free because I went to go return it and Amazon said you don't have to worry about it. You can hold on to it for free. I think I'm going to actually donate this to the used bookstore. The other Boleyn girl, I think let's put that down here. So I have two Pride and Prejudices. This one, which is really pretty and I just got it, and this one, which is also really beautiful and I love it as well. And I'm going to keep both of them. But I think this area is getting a little bit overwhelmed with Jane Austen, but I think it's a beautiful part of my shelf and I'm okay dedicating it to mostly to Jane Austen, I think. And then I think I'm also going to keep the Gone with the Wind there. So I think what I'm going to do is actually take the Brontes out of here. I have a copy of Jane Eyre and a copy of Agnes Grey. And I'm going to put Pride and Prejudice here somewhere. Pride and Prejudice, Emma, Sense and Sensibility, Persuasion, Mansfield Park. Maybe we will take Mansfield Park, Northanger Abbey, Sense and Sensibility, and Madame Bovary. That's such a pretty book. I kind of want to put it on this shelf as well. I feel like The Old Man and the Sea doesn't really belong here. The Old Man and the Sea, that can go here maybe with John Steinbeck of Mice and Men. This might not be making sense to anybody else, but it's making sense in my head where I'm putting things. I want a certain vibe on a certain shelf and colors and all that kind of stuff. I think we need something a little bit deeper, maybe over here. What can I put there? It's very bright in there. Maybe Mrs. Dalloway? Or it's On the Shortness of Life. What can I put there that would just kind of balance it out a little bit? We do have Emma. I don't know. We have The Tenant of Wildfell Hall up there, Middlemarch, Little Women. I don't know, that's such a pretty shelf. I like it. Maybe I just should leave it as is. That looks good. And then this would be really beautiful here, wouldn't it? we go. That's really pretty. Yeah, I like that. And then I just have to figure out what to do with all of these. I should keep my Brontes together. And I should put something down here to make it a little prettier. We have this, it's a little more modern, more recently written anyway. So maybe I should put this down here to brighten it up down here a little bit. Let's stick it, it's not gonna make a lot of sense here. It's not gonna make a lot of sense here with all of my creepy books. But let's put it there anyway and just see what happens. I don't know, whatever, I need to brighten it up there a little bit. And a bookstore in Madrid, bookseller in Madrid. I will put that here too. Up here I've got a lot of my Brontes, so maybe I'll put all my Bronte sisters up here. And yeah, I've also got Wuthering Heights in the corner, that nice big one, and then War and Peace, Tolstoy. What to do. Yeah, I feel like the Brontes are gonna go up there. So let's put this on the shortness of life, actually, with, I'm pretty sure I have Letters from a Stoic somewhere here, if I can find it. Letters from a Stoic right here. So I think I'm going to stick this one in here with Letters from a Stoic. I think I want, yeah, that's good. And then let's put up here, let's move over Anne of Green Gables, Middlemarch, Picture of Dorian Gray, Count of Monte Cristo. Move this oil lamp over for now. And let's put Mrs. Dalloway and The Blue Castle and Jane Eyre and Agnes Grey and this other copy of Jane Eyre that I love so much, Tenant of Wildfell Hall, Wuthering Heights. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of sense, having it like that. I feel like maybe there's something in here I should move up there. I still have Anne's House of Dreams, which I could like display, maybe standing up straight somewhere there would be pretty. Anna Karenina. War and Peace. Keep all my Brontes together. Secret Garden. Do I want to keep this copy of The Secret Garden? Moment of Truth. It is really nice, but I feel like I don't need that many. I feel like I'll eventually be doing some, like an unhaul of 1 or 2 books if I decide they're not really my cup of tea. But so far there's nothing on here that I don't want. All right, this is about as good as it's gonna get for now. I think it looks really nice. It is not organized by really rhyme or reason. I did my best to keep sort of the genres, but also the authors together in one place, but I didn't stick to it 100% because I am also a very visual person and I wanted to move things around according to what was more pleasing to the eye. However, I'm just realizing now I don't like the look of the black and white alternating like that, so I'm gonna fix that. Okay, that looks better to me. That looks much better. I just stacked them straight up and down vertically the way that I had them before. So this is what I have come up with. Here is my top shelf. I'm not going to go through every book, just a quick overview. I displayed Anne's House of Dreams here because I love that cover so much. It's so pretty. I put my little oil lamp here in front of Picture of Dorian Gray and Frankenstein. I kept the Brontes basically together there. I kept Jane Austen basically here. And then I just have, like, honestly, no rhyme or reason. These just look really pretty together. Farewell to Arms back here, Ernest Hemingway. Pretty sure I did not have this one the last time I shared with you guys my bookshelf tour. I put Madame Bovary here beside Meditations and Farewell My General because I thought it just looked really pretty like that. And then here we just have a whole bunch more classics, really no rhyme or reason, and a couple like more fairy tale / fantasy kind of things. And then I randomly stuck the bell jar. Yeah, like I said, no real rhyme or reason. This is my least favorite shelf just because it is so red and black. And I really don't like that it's so red and black, but that's that. So it's fine. And going forward, I'm going to try to get, like I said, the prettier, lighter editions that have a prettier spine on them, that are a little bit more bright, like this one here, and these ones, and kind of this vibe. That's what I like. But yeah, thankfully I've got a few brightly colored books. I think that's why I do like the Oxfords, because they are white, and so they definitely brighten up the bookshelf a little bit. There we go. I think, yeah, I might even try to find like Oxford edition of Count of Monte Cristo or Crime and Punishment or Hunchback of Notre Dame, just to brighten it up a little bit. But that's what we have. Pretty happy with it for now. I'm going to leave it. I like how it looks, and I kind of have it in my head that it's like a library, but not really a library, more of a, almost like the feeling of if you went into a used bookstore, secondhand bookstore, where things were just kind of on the shelves and not really arranged. What sort of treasures might you find? So you could look through and find everything from, you know, Thomas Hardy to Daphne du Maurier to Frances Hodgson Burnett, all in the same area. The Yellow Wallpaper, which, by the way, I just read last week and really enjoyed. But you can find just kind of a little bit of everything. And then you've got your Gone with the Wind, and then you've got your Austens. And yeah, I quite like it. I think it looks really pretty. So that is it for today. I need to go now because I'm exhausted. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this little haul and this little bookshelf organization.